Liang Yue, the Vigiles Bureau Cadet, the Zhenzi of Qiangliang. Each role brings with it a bounden duty that Liang Yue needs to fulfill. A cadet must be vigilant, hardworking, and upright. A Zhenzi able to summon Xiangyang must pass the trial and overcome the impossible ideal presented by the Xiandao Beast. She must always prove herself. She must always be fulfilling her duties, for that is her role in life. But what is left when you peel them all off? These titles are merely superimposed onto Liang Yue. They are parts of her, yet do not fully make up her whole. But when you remove all of these preconceptions, you'll get to see something beautiful. You'll get to see people for who they are at their core. As a Vigiles cadet, Liang Yue is dutiful and obedient. Out on an assignment from the Vigiles, she is sent from Henan, China, to Los Angeles, USA. Initially, the officers at the LA Arcane Affairs Department see her as a liability, a spoiled princess, someone who is looking to use the experience gained there as a way to polish their resume. To them, Liang Yue is nothing more than a Vigiles cadet assigned to strengthen relations with the St. Pablo Foundation. That is all they know of her. As the Zhenzi of Qiangliang, Liang Yue is the upholder of a sad legacy. She is the only one in hundreds of years able to summon Xiangyang. She is a miracle to the Liang family, able to do what her parents couldn't. As such, she was put through rigorous training as a child. Her classmates saw her as a traitor who would rat them out to the teachers, excluding her whenever they would play. Liang Yue is the carrier of a destiny, the summoner of Xiangyang, the one who bears both the curse and the blessing. The curse is that of expectations. They are the duties that she needs to act out as Xiangyang's master. The curse is the rain that fell on her, and only her. Liang Yue is a teacher's pet who is always training and never plays with her friends. That is all they know of her. But slowly, as the event story of 2.5 unravels, we get to peel back these layers and see who Liang Yue really is. As Poitier works alongside Liang Yue, she sees that this quote-unquote spoiled princess is very hardworking, earnest, and humble. This is not an act. It is simply who she is. We see that she enjoys movies, especially Detective CO7. Her faithful encounter with the series helped shape how she viewed Xiangyang, who had once been a blur to her. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. When Poitier tries to tell Liang Yue that her upbringing was kind of messed up, she doesn't understand what her supervisor means. When it was revealed that Liang Yue was fond of cinema, she tries to tease her, yet Liang Yue doesn't understand why that means anything, because at that moment, she is Liang Yue the Vigiles cadet, not Liang Yue the person. But as they know each other more, Liang Yue becomes less robotic and more human in Poitier's eyes. Liang Yue as a person is deeply earnest and righteous, yet she doesn't mind bending the rules to get things done right. She is not strictly a by-the-book person, unlike what her appearance may suggest. She says her thought process out loud to make sure that she is fully understood by the people around her, which is some double symbolism that I really like. While she does say that her father's training was too much for her as a child, she doesn't see any other way that it would have played out, seeing to how she reacts to Poitier's words about her upbringing. She does have a mischievous side to her, like when she secretly collects marbles behind her father's back. Liang Yue loves Detective CO7, having the ending interview with Kei Sing that really hooked her into the rest of the series. One of the main themes of this patch as a whole, even including An Li's anecdote, is to see people for just themselves. To see that people are nuanced instead of them being just one-note characters. Remove all of the roles that you assign to a person and embrace their individuality. People aren't like actors in a film that have to act a certain way for you. They're human with their own unique sides to themselves. Yet, this happens because it is easier to see things in black and white, to confirm our biases. it is much easier to understand the role of the dashing hero, the evil-defining villain, rather than a complex human being. And at times, people feel pressured to act those roles out. It's sort of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, like an actor consumed by their own role. Like Xing. It was only through Liang Yue peeling off the bias she had for Xing as a fan of her movies and looking at her as an individual that she was able to face the case at hand. She faltered at that crucial moment because she couldn't come to realize that Xing was just like another human like her. She only saw her as the actor of CO7 that she admired from the silver screen. She only saw her as that vigilante night piercer. It was through Liang Yue's new perspective of seeing Xing as more than the black and white that she assigned to her that she became truly human in Liang Yue's eyes. It was as if Xing was only able to play one role in her head. Through the course of the story, Liang Yue gains a new perspective. That new perspective was her seeing that Xing was more than black and white that she assigned to her, but instead a human that was driven by grief and obsession. It's quite ironic that this is the second time that Xing has guided Liang Yue in life. First, from the interview where she inspired Liang Yue's dream, and second, from showing her the nuances and intricacies of people. Let's talk wordplay. The Yue of Liang Yue's name means moon, and the Xing of Xing's name means star. Yue is the moon, and the roles are like the reflected light from the sun that helps us see the celestial body. But it is important to remember that the moon itself exists as well. She always thought that the Liang part of herself was infinitely more important than the Yue part will ever be, and yet, Xiangyang shows Yue and Yue only. Stepping back a bit, I myself had a similar experience as well, except that the one that I was categorizing was myself. Throughout the story, I came to take off the roles and duties I put on for myself and see who I really was. It was thanks to the flashback scene at the theater that I came to my own realization.
It wouldn't change anything in my real life. Once the movie was over, I'd have to go back to the same home I had just left. I didn't want to leave, so I stayed in my seat for the closing credits. But the lights didn't come on when the credits ended. Rather, the silver screen lit up again and played something. It was just a short interview like any other. But I still remember every word she said. As the master of Qiangliang, you must use your power to fight the wicked and dispel evil. It is your duty to maintain the peace of the world. Qiangliang, the powerful being that had always been a blur to me, suddenly became clear. I realized that I could be more than just a hero who creates happy endings for herself and the people around her. I could be the hero who creates happy endings for everyone, just like CO7. She was right. Not everyone can do that, but I could. Because I was Yue of the Liang family, the master of Qiangliang. On that day, the burden that had been crushing me suddenly became a blessing.
For a moment there, with my trusty notebook in hand, I wasn't fructose tolerant. I wasn't through either. I was just simply crying there as myself. At the start of me playing this event, I came in with the sole purpose of creating a video right after, simply because it was a limited patch. It felt like an obligation for me to stroll in and do my work, pencil in hand, jotting down every single detail I could find. I had to work. This is what fructose tolerant needs to do. To be absolutely honest, I found YouTube to be a chore at the time. I was on around day 9 or 10 of editing the London Dawning video, probably making a video no one would really see. Like with Project Sekai back then, I felt like I was bound by obligation. I wanted to quit, yet I had to keep on going. I saw YouTube as a duty I needed to fulfill. I envied those who could just play the game and be over with it, not needing to toil in Google Docs or DaVinci Resolve. I was so conflicted until the story made me realize that I had something many others didn't. I had the time and ability to communicate my thoughts and emotions in a medium that few did. This YouTube thing wasn't a curse. It was something that I could fully make my own. The storm of emotions inside of me when it came to content creation subsided, and the path ahead of me was clear as can be.
But
when people only see the roles that they've placed on you, life becomes very isolating. Liang Yue's childhood friends only saw her as a teacher's pet, so they didn't like playing with her. And when she arrived at the DAA, the officers there didn't want to interact with her either, as they only saw her as just a spoiled princess. When Noir only saw her crew as tools, she was left all alone. Or even in Aunt Ali's anecdote, where the divine Shen didn't really want to teach her because he saw her as his calamity. Seeing someone in such a black and white lens strips them of their humanity, and humanity is what connects us together and makes spending time with others all the better. Like how watching a colored film is a better experience than a monochrome one can ever be. Most of the time anyway. You guys better trust me on this. And the thing is, Xiangyang must have felt the same as well. It's why Liang Yue and Qiangliang are such a great pair. Xiangyang is a curse on our family. Xiangyang is a blessing. You must be glad you were able to summon it. When Liang Yue first summoned Xiangyang, she was doing it out of loneliness. She wanted someone to play with her. She was left to train at the temple all alone, and her classmates have all run off as they didn't want to play with the teacher's pet. She approaches Xiangyang with curiosity and wonder. She treats it like a person. She peels off all the roles and statuses that have been put on it. And so, Xiangyang answers her call. Her recent ancestors all saw Xiangyang as a curse, one that was on them when they couldn't summon it. But then, they call it a blessing. They've never treated it as just another being. This whole time, Xiangyang was lonely because no one understood it. That's why it slumbered. The events of Liang Yue's character story are right after Xiangyang's disappearance in the event story. An arcane creature with suspiciously electrical powers is on the loose in LA, and Liang Yue is absolutely determined that it is Xiangyang. She needs to get it back at all costs because of her duty. She didn't want to fail her duty no matter what. She even risked her life in the hopes of them not killing this arcane creature, but yet it wasn't Xiangyang at all. And I loved that. I loved it because it really shows that people only realize how much they truly treasure something when they lose it. From everything Liang Yue went through, her view of Xiangyang was twisted. She was no longer the same child who wanted to draw Xiangyang in the ground just because she wanted to. But she was like the other members of the Liang family before her, seeing Xiangyang as something larger than it was. A duty to fulfill, a trial to overcome, but never a friend. It is only until the end of the story that Liang Yue comes back and sees Xiangyang as a companion. She films a homemade movie for it and draws little portraits of herself to show to it, depicting Liang Yue as herself doing the most mundane of things. Going to an amusement park, attending a traditional funeral, and so on. She genuinely wants to know Xiangyang more, and it all starts with friendliness. It all starts with seeing people for who they are, not what you want them to be in your mind. This patch is almost near perfection to me, and I'd like to see all the different colors that life has to offer, because life isn't a black and white film. It's something filled with nuance and color. Thank you for watching.